What is going on, y'all? Today is chest and tri day. It's gonna be a very good day. Got the intro workout. We got a Body Armor orange mango flavor. I always recommend drinking the orange mango, I don't even know what I'm saying. Well, I guess, yeah, I do recommend this one, but the Body Armors for intra and pre-workout because of the potassium you get with the drink. You don't only get electrolytes, carbs, you don't just get that stuff. You also get potassium, which helps you not cramp up. And I've never really had a problem with cramping up too much, except on leg day with my calves. Calves cramp up a ton for me. So every leg day now I'm starting with calves. Because for one, I can do a lot of weight for calves. And I might as well try to grow my calves as much as I can. Because out of all the things on my legs, calves need the most growing. Even though they're not bad, they're just not where I want them to be. I want them to be huge. But today's plan is I'm going to try to PR on incline bench press and see how that goes. I'm going to do 2 plates today. I'm going to try to at least do it for... Who's gone? I'm going to try to do it for at least 2 reps. But if I don't get more than 4 reps, I'm going to do another set. Because what I've been doing now is I have a workout A and a workout B. Workout A is the first one, obviously, and then the workout B is my second workout on like chest or something. So workout A consists of incline benching for set to failure, and it's just all my low volume stuff, right? I have nothing for more than 3 sets. I have nothing more than like 2 sets, I'm pretty sure. But overall, I'm excited for this new workout, like A and B, because I just feel like if I'm able just to have it on my, what do you call it, my notes thing, I know I'm going to hit, it allows me to just go in the workout locked in and ready to be like, okay, I'm going to go here and then here. I'm not going to complain too much if I'm either going to, 1, wait for a machine or just 2, do a different machine. Because it's like, I can still hit the same muscle groups if I want to hit, if I really want to do a Smith machine and it's been taken up for like far too long, more than I want to wait, then I'll just do a hamstring incline press or something, or a dumbbell press. So that's the thing I tell people is, if you want to do something, right, like the Smith machine incline press, but every Smith machine's taken or something, like this gym only has 1 Smith machine, which sucks. I think every gym should have bare minimum 2 Smith machines. But, 1 Smith machine, if it's taken, I'm not going to complain. I can just do incline bench free weight if I really want to. I'm not going to complain too much about if something's taken up, because my goals aren't as important as other people's goals. It's just as important, right? Their goals matter to them as much as mine do, right? So don't be a dickhead, right? But same with like, if you're doing like a dumbbell bench press and your weights are taken, either go 5 pounds less or 5 pounds more. I'd recommend trying 5 pounds more to see what you can do, right? Now, it's a little more understandable if you're on like a lateral raise and you're like, man, I want to do the 40s, but the 40s are taken. I can either do 30s or 45s. And for my circumstance, I'd probably pick the 45s at first, and then do, some reps, but then go down to the 30s for a couple sets. But, that's just me. Because I'm dumb, man. I think when I can do 1 clean rep of something, I go up in weight a little too much for my own good, and I don't get as much efficiency out of that set probably. But it's like, if you never try to go for heavier weights, you're never going to know if you can do those weights at all, right? And then if you're doing the same weight over and over and over again, you're not going to grow at all, right? Because a lot of what the gym is the nervous system building up, right? So I would never be a power lifter, right? I don't think you should PR every week, but like, if you're just doing 225 on flat bench and you've done that, let's say you've done 225 for 5 for the past 6 months, and you're still doing 225, you haven't tried to go 235 for 4 or 5, whatever it is, you haven't tried to do 225 for 7 even, you're just like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you rack. and it looks the same every time, you might be doing something wrong, brother. You might be needing to, you know, try to go up in weight a little bit, or just try a couple more reps. So don't be scared to try big boy weights sometimes. But other than that, let's get into it, y'all.
Here we have a PR, which you'll see I'm very happy about at the end of the video. But we're going to be hitting the upper chest when we're doing this movement, making sure our elbows aren't too flared out to hit a lot of our shoulders, but mainly hit the upper chest. Make sure we're at like a 45-degree incline, so we're getting the most out of the movement, and too high you'll hit more shoulders than anything. But do some partials at the end till failure. Now we have a push fly, which I've always recommended over just doing straight flies, because the push part of the movement is the best version of the squeeze, I think, and the fly is the best portion of the stretch, so you get the best of both worlds. But, you know, only mainly do push presses if you have something supporting your back, which is what this machine is exactly. But especially with the push presses, you can go a little heavier in movements. So, yep, just make sure you're training hard and heavy when you're doing this, training to failure. And we just did a set of this and a set of incline bench, since I forgot to mention that. Now we're going to be wanting to hit the lower pec and middle pec, but we're also going to be hitting triceps and front delts when we're doing this. And you mainly want to keep your body in a kind of a 3/4 rep range, kind of range of motion, because if you go all the way to the top, you'll hit more triceps, like just what I'm doing right now. But that's for one, resting my chest, and also hitting a little bit of triceps at the end. Now we have the lateral head of the tricep, which is mainly the outside part of that tricep to give you that thickness. But make sure you train to failure. We just did a set here as well. And make sure you're training hard and heavy with these. Keep your elbows tucked in when you're doing these, and barely move anything else except your wrist up and down. And now we're going to be hitting the long head and medial head with this mainly, and we're going to be supersetting it with hitting the lateral heads by doing just normal rope push downs, which is one of my favorite movements for pump, and just a really good squeeze at the bottom. You don't get that much stretch at the, doing the rope portion, but you do get a deadly stretch when you're doing these right here with the overhead. Just make sure your elbows aren't too flared out, or you'll hit a lot of shoulders. And when you want to make these easier by doing rope push downs, if you want to make it easier, meet your hands in the middle.
All right, y'all, we are done. We're currently now doing DoorDash. Like I said in the past, the anabolic zone might exist. Like, it makes sense, but it's like, if you don't have time to really get back home and immediately, or like smack down a protein shake, don't worry. Do what you need to do first and get going, right? And then make sure you're not waiting like 5, 4, whatever, 6 hours till your next meal. But don't stress if you can't eat your first meal your next meal in 30 minutes. If you can't eat it in an hour or so, then don't stress. But, that's what I've just got to say. I'm going to make this a little short just because I'm doing this DoorDash and I don't want to get a thing real quick and then, whatever not. But I was talking to a buddy in there in the gym, and he got injured on the upright row, which is these with the barbell. And he says he's never had it. He was going lighter than usual, and it happened, and he was like compensating because he has a little imbalance. But if it happens to him again, I didn't say this at the time, I was thinking about this now. If you get injured on a movement, right, one time, that doesn't fully mean that movement is bad. Just see what you did wrong. He said he was overcompensating because he had an imbalance, because he had a surgery on one side and everything. So maybe he was just doing a little wrong. But if it happens to him again, I'd recommend do not do that exercise anymore. Find a replacement for it, for the muscles it hits, right? That exercise hits traps and side delts. Do a lateral raise or a shrug, right? If you really want to do it, right? yes, it's a fun movement, but if you're getting injured on it, just like for me for just normal flat bench press, I don't do flat bench anymore because of all the injuries it gave me. And I found out way more than one time, right? There was a time in the period where I wasn't getting injured on bench press, but every time I do bench press now, because for one, I'm not used to the movement, and two, every time I go right back into bench press, I want to hit a PR, or at least want to see if I could do 225. So be smart, train smart, and just be kind to yourself in the gym, and don't be reckless. Other than that, that's it for today. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.